Mexico. And this is very reminiscent of what Puerto Rico in the cities is. A lot of
Hola. Hola. Buenos dias. It's very, very important. Thank you very much. Is everything okay now? Yes? All right, everybody. Something very important. Maybe most of you are thinking about 2 hours. What happens if I have an emergency and I need to go to the bathroom? Just do not worry, okay? Just tell me. We can stop the bus and then you go run into the bushes. Okay? No, I'm just kidding. Right here we have a restroom for you. Okay? Tell me, where is the restroom? In the back of the bus. Do you see that little cubicle? That cubicle, it is the restroom for today. But I think everybody, it is going to be agree with me. Right? If it's possible, of course, that baño will be just for emergencies. Número uno. You know what I mean, right? If you have another kind of emergency, I already told you. We can make the stop and then you go run into the Mayan bathroom. Alright? And we are in the higher seasons of the tourism here. So today maybe it will be a crowded place. You will find a lot of people there. Okay? And we're gonna make that a stop that is just like 10 minutes away from the archaeological site, because right there we're gonna use restrooms, as I told you. So we have in between 5,000 to 7,000 visitors in the archaeological site each day in the higher seasons. So imagine the line for go to the bathroom. Okay, that's why we're gonna make that a stop right there. We're gonna use restrooms, but also, as I told you, imagine the line for the restrooms. But now imagine the line for buy the tickets. Really long line. Sometimes we waste like an hour to buy the tickets. That's why I already sent a person in order to buy your tickets. Okay, so that person is going to send our tickets in that stop. All right, so we're gonna save time, and also in that stop we're gonna pick up your box lunches. All right, as I told you, it's just 10 minutes away from the archaeological site, so it's going to take us 2 hours to get there. All right, now is everything clear? Yep. Yes.
See.
Okay. Now, I can hear you, and Matinatic Atan means I don't understand you a word. That is the meaning. As I told you, this is a huge controversy. Okay? And this was the first mistake of the Spaniards. The second mistake, actually we have a lot of, controversies in the Mayan and the Spanish language, Have you know the island of Cozumel? I think you've been there, or tomorrow you will be there. You've been there? No. Okay, Cozumel, it is, just another example of a bad pronunciation of an Mayan word, because the correct name was Cutzamil, not Cozumel, and Cutzamil means the land of the shadows. But now the name is Cozumel because of a bad pronunciation, as I said. The second mistake of the Spaniards when they arrived was trying to change the religion. You know that when they tried to change the religion, they destroy a lot of evidence, a lot of records. They found that the Mayan civilization, it was a polytheistic civilization. They believe in many different gods, and they used to practice some different kind of rituals as human sacrifices. So that's why Diego de Landa, Fray Diego de Landa, he was a bishop. He was the man in charge to give the orders to the Spaniards to destroy around 2,000 Mayan books. He burned down all those books because they were in hieroglyphics. Have you seen the Mayan hieroglyphic books? Well, actually we don't have them. They are in Europe. The first one, it is in Dresden. You know where Dresden is? Germany. This is the one that actually talks about the Mayan calendar. Have you heard about the Mayan calendar before, friends? Yeah? The Mayan calendar, really famous. The second book, it is in Paris, in France, that talks about the Mayan numerical system, or the Mayan. Could you please tell me something about the Mayan calendar? Anything that you know. I don't know, the shape of the calendar, how many months, how many days, something that you heard. It's a circle, right? The shape of the calendar is a circle. It's supposed that we escape from the end of the world, right? It's the most accurate calendar, that's true. Another thing? No? Alright. Actually, they knew about 5 planets in the solar system. You know, 5 planets. Well, if we know that Venus is a planet, because they believe that Venus wasn't a star. That's the only mistake. But they mentioned 4 planets and Venus. We have 5 planets in the solar system, according with them. All right. Now, what is the meaning of 21st of December of 2012? What is the meaning of that? As I told you, the most accepted theory is that it was the end of the longest calendar. And this one, according with the archaeologists, is basing in the astronomy. Right here, the archaeologists said is where we used the counting of the Mayan Bactunes. Have you heard about the Bactunes before? It is a counting of years, as the centuries, all right? But one Bactun, according with the Mayans, it is 4 centuries, 400 years, all right? According with the Mayan civilization, they predict, and the astronomers, the Mayan astronomers, they predict that every 13 Bactunes, we're talking about a lot of time, right? 13 multiplied by 400, how much is that? 5,200 years. That much. They predict that the 5 planets, or the 4 planets, and Venus, they will lining up in the sky. What do you think? The Mayan civilization also were the first one to know that the planets spin around the sun and not the sun around the planet, even before Copernicus. As I told you, most of people believe that the Mayan civilization it was, or they were living like in the H2. But no. They were a really smart civilization, and actually they still being the ones that occupied more territory than no one else. It was a huge civilization. Okay? Now, I don't want to boring you too much. What is the oldest tool or thing that the archaeologists found of the Mayan civilization? The oldest thing that they found, they are cities. And the oldest one, it starts from 1300s before Christ. Okay, this is when the Mayan civilization started. 1300s before Christ. Okay. Now, another question. Everything okay? Sure. Okay. Now, from here to the technical stop that we're gonna make, it is more or less an hour. Okay, an hour away from here. So, let me tell you this. In that stop, or that stop will be in a Mayan cooperative. What is that? You will see a lot of different type of souvenirs in that. And today, right there, you have included, or you have the opportunity to do the shopping. Let me tell you, friends, in Chichen Itza, we have a massive problem with the vendors. Have you heard about that? A really massive problem with the vendors. I don't know if you know it, but it's illegal sale souvenirs inside the archaeological sites. It is not legal, okay? And when I said a massive problem, I'm talking about thousands of vendors. Thousands of them. Actually, 3 years ago, they took off 1,000 of them. And they're still being thousands. But just the people of that community. So the ones that are inside are not from that community. And let me be honest with you. Not all of the vendors, but most of the cases, or most of them, are not honest people. You know what I mean, right? You need to be careful. Inside the archaeological site, you will listen this all the time. $1, $1, $5, cheaper than Walmart, cheaper than Target, almost free. This is just for take your attention, okay? As I told you today, and you will see maybe one working in a handcraft, but that doesn't mean that the one that is trying to sell to you is the handcraft. You know what I mean, right? They will try to charge you like on a handcraft, but sometimes it is not a handcraft, okay? And we know that the handcrafts are a little bit more expensive than the ones, you know, that are made with machines or something. You know, the machines, they made those in minutes. The handcrafts, it takes weeks, all right? That's why the value of that is a little bit more, all right? Now, they are not really honest. As I told you, sometimes it happens. This kind of thing happens. You know what is obsidian, or the obsidiana? It's a volcanic glass. It's frozen lava. It's a black glass. It's considered as a semi-precious one, okay? Now, have you heard about the onyx? Without color, right? The obsidian is black. But if you're not familiar with these stones, it is easy to get confused, because the vendors, they take onyx and they paint the onyx in black, and you will see, or you will feel that it feels like the same one. and we know that the onyx is cheaper, it's cheap, and the obsidian is a little bit more expensive. Okay, so it is easy for you,
Bus stop.
you know, and they are, you know, not really honest people. Sometimes when you buy, they take the dollars. But what they didn't tell you is that they will give you your change in pesos. And I think that you don't use pesos in America. Even in the ship you don't use pesos, right? Unless that you want an expensive souvenir of Mexican pesos, it is a good idea. They accept the dollar in a lower price than in the banks or the places, you know, that are $2. It is going to be your bank. The banks in Mexico, as I told you, they take the dollar in a good price, sometimes 19. But in America, it is even better. They accept the dollar like 21 pesos per dollar. That this is, you know, you're gonna save a really good money if you use that, and it's completely safe, okay, for you. That's why actually we make that comparative, because in the archaeological side, we make that stuff in the work, because in that archaeological side, it is, you know, easy for you to, and they will not give you a receipt. Okay, if there is a problem, they disappear. Okay, so in that comparative, you will find the same things there in a really good price actually, and something else. Rather, you can negotiate with the prices. Okay, you can negotiate the prices. Let me tell you something. As I told you, the handcrafts, it takes time to make, you know, to make one. It takes week. It's a hard work, you know, all the days to make a handcraft. Sometimes I have, or I can see some tourists, you know, try to negotiate with the price, but they want something cheap and really cheap and really cheap, and they're pushing the people, you know, the workers, to sell that really cheaper. And I don't, you know, I can understand that, but it's something difficult for them, you know. It's like when we go to do shopping, I don't know, to a mall, or maybe beautiful, and it's still getting more popular or famous, you know, around the world. There are two places where you can have one of these things. The first one, it is in Egypt. Have you been in Egypt before? There are people that working with some pendants, and those pendants, they will make your name into Egyptian hieroglyphics. The second place that you can get one of those ones, it is in the peninsula of Yucatan. The Mayan civilization, as I told you, they were the only ones, or the other ones, that they developed the writing system in hieroglyphics. And there is a Mayan cooperative of the community. Actually, this cooperative, it is by the INA, that is the National Institution of Anthropology and History. They made this cooperative for the people that only speak Maya. It is difficult for these people to get a job, because most of the jobs are, you know, in the cities.